Welcome to the explainer. Let's jump right in. Imagine this. A hacker is already inside a company's internal network. But here's the catch. There are zero flashing red lights. No alarms are going off. The malware isn't locking up files, it's not aggressively hoarding massive amounts of data, and honestly, it doesn't even look like a traditional virus. So how on earth does a Security Operations Center, a SOC, actually find them? Well, that's exactly the mystery we're unpacking today. It's kind of terrifying when you really think about it, right? If hackers leave no trace and trigger literally zero alerts, how do you find them? Today, we're demystifying one of the most secretive and honestly vital jobs in the entire cybersecurity world, threat hunting. We're going to see exactly how these digital detectives operate to uncover those unseen dangers quietly lurking in the shadows of modern networks. Section 1. The Invisible Hacker. You know, a lot of people think cybersecurity is just slapping on a firewall, setting up some endpoint protection, and, well, waiting for an alarm to ring. But that's simply not how it works anymore. Today's advanced persistent threats, we're talking highly organized ransomware gangs and state-sponsored hackers. They are incredibly sophisticated. These high-level attackers know exactly what companies are monitoring. So what do? They adapt. Instead of dropping flashy malware that gets caught in 5 seconds, they hide right in plain sight. They use legitimate admin tools already sitting on your computer, things like PowerShell or SSH. They compromise normal, everyday employee accounts. Basically, they completely mimic everyday user behavior. So if there's no alert, because the activity technically looks quote-unquote legal to the system, how do defenders even know they're in there? Section 2. Monitoring versus active hunting. And that brings us to the core difference in how we have to approach cybersecurity today. We have to completely flip our mindset to catch these invisible intruders. A lot of folks confuse threat hunting with traditional tools like SIM, Security Information and Event Management, or EDR, Endpoint Detection and Response. Think of SIM like a giant surveillance camera. It collects logs, correlates events, and spits out alerts for things like mass login failures. It's fundamentally passive. EDR is similar. It watches endpoints for known bad behaviors. But threat hunting? Completely different animal. It doesn't wait around for an alert. Instead, it operates on this proactive, almost paranoid assumption. The hacker is already inside. The hunter is actively searching through logs, network traffic, and behaviors, just looking for anomalies. It's a totally different philosophy. Section 3. The Threat Hunter's Playbook. Okay, so how does this actually play out in the real world? Let's peel back the curtain on the exact methodology a SOC analyst uses to track down these hidden threats. Step 1. Establish a hypothesis. You don't just blindly stare at logs hoping something jumps out. You start with a suspicion, like, hey, is someone doing lateral movement, or is there a rogue PowerShell script running somewhere? Step 2 is collecting the evidence. Get this, a real threat hunter in a large SOC might analyze billions of logs a day. Firewalls, DNS, cloud audits, the whole shebang. And finally, step 3, finding anomalous patterns. Remember, you weren't looking for a known virus signature here. You're searching for behavior that just doesn't quite fit. Section 4. The power of normal. Now, this is where the true art of the hunt really shines. Because they aren't looking for standard viruses. Threat hunters are looking for actions that completely defy normal human logic in a corporate setup. Take a look at this text string. It's a base 64 encoded PowerShell command. Now, ask yourself, why on earth would Bob from accounting or someone in HR ever type a massive, obfuscated, totally unreadable string of characters into a command line? Well, they wouldn't. Absolutely not. This right here is a massive red flag, just masquerading as a perfectly legitimate administrative process. These anomalies often hide right there in the raw system data. For example, you might see what we call a parent-child process relationship, where Microsoft Word, winword.exe, is suddenly spawning PowerShell.exe. Put your detective hat on for a second. Why in the world is Microsoft Word launching PowerShell? Think about it. You open Word to type up a document, maybe drop in a table or a pie chart. It has absolutely zero business launching a super powerful scripting tool used by IT admins. So when a hunter sees this, boom, they immediately deduce that this bizarre parent process is highly likely to be a malicious document, probably armed with some nasty hidden macro. Let's look at one more scenario. It's 3 a.m., the office is completely dark and empty, yet a specific workstation is suddenly blasting out massive DNS queries to strange, unrecognized domains. A normal employee just burning the midnight oil? Yeah, highly unlikely. This is a classic indicator of malware trying to phone home. It's what we call a command and control, or C2, beacon. Which brings us to a really foundational concept here. the normal baseline. You see, a truly great threat hunter doesn't just read logs, they read the actual heartbeat of the organization. They have this deep, intuitive familiarity with what normal traffic and standard behavior looks like. They know it so well that the abnormal just jumps right off the screen at them. AI might completely miss these subtle context clues, but a senior hunter, they instantly know something is off simply because they know exactly what right looks like. Section 5. The MIT Attack Framework. So, to bring some structure to this insanely vast, complex search through billions of data points, the global cybersecurity industry relies on a unified playbook, the MIT REATT and CK framework. It maps out the known tactics, techniques, and procedures, or TTPs, that hackers use all over the world. We're talking things like initial access, stealing passwords through credential dumping, moving laterally across the network to hop into other servers, and establishing persistence so that their backdoor survives a simple computer reboot. Threat hunters use this exact framework to conduct what's called TTP-based hunting. They're essentially reverse engineering the attack, specifically searching the network for any traces of these known hacker strategies. Section 6. The AI cyber arms race. As with pretty much everything in tech right now, artificial intelligence is radically shifting the landscape of threat hunting. It is quite literally an arms race unfolding right before our eyes. On one side, AI massively empowers defenders. Instead of a human analyst painstakingly reviewing a few hundred events a day, AI can scan billions of logs, build super complex behavioral models, and even auto-generate hunting queries for us. But then look at the other side. Hackers are leveraging the exact same technology to hide themselves even better. We're already seeing AI-driven malware, auto-mutating command and control channels, and incredibly sophisticated AI-generated social engineering. We're stepping into a very tense era of AI versus AI. As we wrap up this explainer, I really want you to reflect on this quote. The scariest hacker isn't the one who crashes your system. It's the one who's been inside for 6 months without you knowing. Honestly, that is the entire reason threat hunting exists. The goal isn't just to react to the loud, noisy attacks. It's to hunt down the invisible enemies operating in complete silence, long before the real damage is done. Which leaves us with this final provocative thought. In the upcoming era of AI versus AI, are you confident your network is actually secure, or is it just quiet? Definitely something to think about the next time you see a completely empty alert dashboard. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and remember to keep your eyes peeled for what might be hiding right in plain sight.